everybody, Agent Fluffy here, and I'm going to do another Reharmonized Ponies. This time, I'm going to do Applejack. It's by Alex Warlorn. So I hope you guys enjoy Reharmonization Applejack, the truth and the whole truth. Howdy, AJ here. You know, Applejack, been a little while, ain't it? Sure seems a heck of a lot longer than a few weeks. Unlike Nightmare Moon, which happened in the middle of every forest in the abandoned castle of the Pony Sisters, we be Discord right in the middle of Ponyville. No matter how much a lot of ponies were and weren't so, every pony remembers what was happening when Discord was screwing us up inside the head. So now here's a bunch of ponies that want to know more about the 6 ponies who saved the world twice, making a weekly documentary about us or something. I weren't really listening, but Mayor's made sure that by the time they're all let in, we'll have all recovered enough to have gotten back to our lives without need to pretend nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong on the surface, maybe, but every pony in town, they act just a little bit forced in what they do. Then chat's a little bit faster or won't stop talking at all, going in circles about the same thing over and over. And every pony is looking over her shoulder where she wasn't before. Ponyville used to be the nicest, simplest, all-around friendliest town you could hope to settle in. But now it's feeling like a little filly who's lost her innocence a little bit too soon. I guess I can see things a little bit clearer since I'm supposed to embody honesty of the elements of harmony. The creepy thing is how some ponies really do act like they've forgotten, or blocked out the memories altogether, and they pretend they ain't knowing why every pony else is acting like a lizard that just came home from a Dragon Slayers convention. In a way, it kinda scares me. I guess I got off easier than most folks. Discord might have taken a personal interest in me, but I know what I did, why I did it, and that I was wrong. And Twilight helps me all remember the truth. All them lies I was spewing on making things worse. But I was too scared what could happen to admit it. And when it happened anyway, I just lied to myself that it wasn't my fault too. I didn't want to admit I was wrong. I didn't want to admit I tried my way and failed again. I didn't even care when I saw my family had gone crazy. I just lied to myself again and said they were blind. Yes, Applejack season all over again. And good girl Twilight snapped me back to reality with that old trip down memory lane. And I know, his lies only got me down a dead end. 'Cause I was a coward and didn't want to face the truth when it turned ugly. Yeah, I know it was cowardly of me, and I admit it. The brave and reliable, most dependable pony's Applejack got her tail between her legs and couldn't face what she was supposed to embody. But I know I ain't turning chicken again just because I learned something that ain't pleasant. And that's a promise this here cow pony intends to keep. Not after what it just cost me, but my whole dang family. Ponyville and all of Equestria and the world. And that's the whole honest truth. And I don't care if the birds be alive. I ain't never turned it yellow and that truth again. On all things I expected to happen today, begging a personal summons for the princess, me personally, when the other gals ain't invited, wasn't one. And being told to take along my little sister Apple Blue was even less suspected. Being brought there by a Royal Pegasus carrier. Well, let's say that wasn't expected either. Twilight was as clueless as me when she delivered the message, and the letter didn't get into much detail at all. Just to bring myself and Apple Bloom the candle via the chariot already on its way. Apple Bloom, where to begin? She was all surprised, more a little scared of being a princess, for about 10 whole seconds. Then she was all running up the wall saying saying how she'd be a cutie mark crusading royal something or other. Big brother promised he could handle the farm for the day without trouble. Weren't sure how much that was true. Big Macintosh had been working hard, sure enough. Maybe too hard. Yeah, I remember the time I worked myself crazy. But it's been avoiding no-nut like the cutie mark, trained working for the fields, been doing all his life, but he's taking bad tasting medicine. I swear I saw him doing it with his eyes closed. I kinda knew better than to ask him to dig a hole for a new sample. It ain't hard to guess why. Maybe we ought to buy up the apple core and sign up a meeting with the head doctors after all. At least all Granny Smith been saying is her rear legs hurt something fierce after all the dancing she did after Discord drove her crazy. I didn't ask a Discord bother to fix her hip before he made dancing the only thing in her head. Maybe I should. Boys are right on time. Half Bloom asked them a million questions, none of which were answered. Spotlight asked for me to say hello to the princess for her. I promised to do so, and I will. Up and here we go. What a rush. What the heck were the gals thinking when they invented this thing? Hadn't they ever heard of safety straps? That Bloom doesn't know she was supposed to be scared out of her wits being this high up. This ain't good. I made sure she ain't rocking the chariot and giving me the chance to see if I can catch her if she falls. Or maybe she can meet in these sprouts wings. She ain't liking me putting the brakes on her party, but better me than the ground. I admit, the view ain't that bad. I prefer all hoofing, but it ain't that bad. And that's when it really hits me. This is the first time Applejack's ever been at Camelot. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! I made note to be extra food, playing special careful around her so she doesn't go wandering off somewhere and getting lost. I wish I dropped Nona's leash. Sure, Applejack was giving a tour of the castle gardens. But to full-blown Canterlot itself? Oh, Celestia, no! It ain't lying if I simply ain't telling you. That's what them fancy lawyers are always saying. So it ain't lying if I don't tell you about what happened right after we landed the Canterlot. It involved Applejack spooking every Pegasus in the armor around. A royal fountain, Applejack needing to redefine her meaning of public bath, and I think there goes to the hippocampus in the Lost family locket, but I kinda ain't sure about them details. After Applejack had 4 legs again instead of 2 legs and a tail, and hearing her say how they should have made signs saying no public bathing, Billy, stay away. Do not drink the water. This means you, Applejack. I swear I ain't lying. A lot larger, and yet her friends would never believe this. We finally got back on track to the castle. This time, I made very sure Applejack understood that when I say don't wander off, stay close, I didn't really mean sneak away when I'm not looking and touching every marked do not touch. Castle Royal entryway. Meeting the princess. Applejack goes nuts. Applejack runs around her, shoots off questions, and asking for early cutie mark privileges. Thank goodness Princess Celestia has a good sense of humor. She lets Applejack go on for a bit, and she politely telekinetically moved Applejack back to my side. I'll confess, I'm kinda scared and really confused. Why would Celestia just want me of all ponies? Sure, I'm a holder element of harmony, but why not all of us? It don't make sense. I finally asked what the up and up is all about. My dear Applejack, you are here for a privilege, or a curse. No pony has had in over 1,000 years to see truth. To see truth? You gotta give me a lie detector vision or something? Applejack jumped up and down. Wow, can I have it too? Celestia laughed, sounding refreshed, and spoke to me. Oh no, nothing quite like that. What you take with you will not be anything in the physical sense. I really feel awkward talking one-on-one with Princess Celestia. I had to keep my legs from knocking. So, why you asked me to bring Applejack? We turned to my little sister, who was now stuffing her face with a couple of royal pastries provided when my back was turned. She is here completely for your sake, Applejack, and no one else's. I prefer to explain things a tad more privately. Now, may you both take a few steps back. Trusting the princess completely, both did so. Celestia's horn glowed. Doors and windows shut and locked themselves. Applejack gave out a yell. Ah! The carpet we had been standing on rolled to one side, and the stones that made up before floated apart. Floating like stars in the heavens, they revealed a spiral staircase. Is there a treasure down there? Or a dragon? Or a dragon treasure? Or a dragon made of treasure? Or maybe the magic gem that's secretly is the source of all killing marks will be. Apple Bloom, go turn into Pinkie Pie. My voice was as sisterly as I could make it. My eyes were still the size of ripe apples and glued to the opening of the floor, however. Apple calmed down a bit. Oh, sorry. Follow me, please, and do watch your step. It's a long way down, Celestia said as an invited us for tea. We obediently followed our princess of the sun, and the stones above it magicked all back into place all neat-like. I really hope Celestia didn't suddenly suffer a stroke or had to teleport somewhere fast and forget about us. I really didn't like the idea of a slow, suffocating death in the dark. Celestia's horn was the only life source. The stones weren't like the rest of Canada, polished to perfection. These here stones were dank, dusty, and rough. Apple kept her mouth shut and we spent the next couple of minutes just going down and down and down. Applejack, Celestia said, keeping her eyes ahead. How have you been since Discord's second sealing? I've been doing better than most point folks, I think. I know what I did wrong and I ain't not gonna do it again. But big sisters is no way ever. Not now, Apple Bloom. So, tell me again how Discord tainted you, please, Applejack. Well, we all got separated in the maze. I followed some apples like my cutie mark, then ran to a bunch of apple trees and some big talking piles of apples saying they were keepers of the Grove of Truth or something like that. They said I could ask any question I wanted. I asked how that here quest would go, and they showed me my friends breaking up. Then Discord told me truth could be cruel and lies were kinder, and that's when Twilight found me. And now, I know that truth ain't something to run from. You have to face it head on. Celestia spoke in a polite voice. A realist approach. How rare in the place of living ideals like Equestria. My head went in for a whoop. Huh? You're saying it's wrong? It's not right or wrong. It simply is. Now, I will ask you this only once, Applejack. Do you wish to know the truth of that statement? I don't hesitate. Yes. Then we're here. She stopped. Huh? When did we reach the end of the stairs? But them big doors didn't come out of nowhere, did they? I'm tired of walking. Could y'all just teleport us here? Apple Bloom. I could have. But then what would have been the point? Celestia said simply. The door had the same seal as the one from the Illness of Harmony, except there was a second door with the symbol of the moon on it too. Celestia inserted her horn. The lights of the door glowed and swung open. Still dank, still dark, still not all pretty like, but a really big room! Circular, with a path along the edge and a short but really wide drop in the middle with a railing. A drop ending in the metal seal with a spiral shutter-like on a camera. There were gears and cogs sticking out in places. We stepped inside. Us two earth ponies staring slack-jawed, while the door behind us closed on its own. Would they stop doing that? On this side, we saw both doors led in. That one was when I saw someone I never expected to see. Princess Luna? A pleasure to see you again, Applejack. I'm sorry this isn't a time for me to get to know you better, said Nah Princess like we were old friends. Wow, so you're the princess who kidnapped by Nightmare Moon with my sister Sade? Apple said, spouting out one of the many explanations Phillies had come up with on their own for Princess Luna and Nightmare Moon not being able to understand they were the same pony. Close enough, I guess. Luna said, sounding and feel awkward by Apple's question. Luna looked rather at home in the darkness. She didn't tell me till later that being there cut off in her night sky wasn't at all pleasant. Sister, it's time. Alright, Celestia, are you sure? No. And this is why we have to. Now I was totally creeped out. Celestia's not sure about something? That was just wrong. The alicorns flew to opposite ends of the room and turned the horns into locks like the ones outside. The lines and spiral shutter glowed and uncoiled, revealing a huge, perfectly reflective pool of something. I wasn't sure it was glass or water, so perfectly smooth. Applejack, Celestia then said, "Get my attention. Some have called this the Well of Infinitely. Others have called it the Pool of Truth. Others the Sun and the Moon's Shadow, or simply Truth. But whatever names ponies have given it over the eons, it has existed here or somewhere else. To look into this pool when it's active is to behold truth." I wasn't distracted by the fancy talk as most other ponies would be. Wait, if this here thing's no stuff, Davy, how often do you use it? And why couldn't you use it to help beat discord? Princess Celestia said firmly, "Applejack, you can live to be 100, and you will never know the answer to that first question. Second, discord is often unpredictable, even by true standards. And aside from that, this is not some lexicon where you can just look through the index and then look up the desired information. And that aside, it takes 2 alicorns' magics for it to be awakened. It was intended as a safety measure, and Luna has spent the last year recovering her magic and from her own corruption." I really feel small. Applejack tilted her head. "Lexi, what?" "A big book on knowing a lot about a certain thing," Princess Luna said, speaking directly to Applejack. "Oh, okay. Wait, if this thing knows lots of stuff, hey!" Applejack climbed on top of the stone railing and looked over the edge. "Well, event for neither or whatever. What's my cutie mark and how do I get it?" "Apple Bloom!" I quickly grabbed my little sister with my teeth and pulled her away. "It's all right, Applejack. Apple Bloom is perhaps the safest one here," Celestia said muffledly. "Say what?" "Apple Bloom is, more or less, still innocent. It's the vision of an innocent soul. Truth is one big glorified mirror." "Why does everyone treat me like I'm still a foe?" "Besides," Celestia continued, "it's not even active yet. Though maybe innocent isn't quite the right word for Apple Bloom, but not having realized their cutie mark is barrier enough from the truth." "Apple Bloom not innocent? I see you, mate." "Not what my sister meant," Sister sounded for just a bit like Nightmare Moon I knew. She sounded like she knew one word that would reduce Apple Bloom to tears. I didn't like that. "There is nothing my moonlight touches that I can't see. Nothing. And when I returned, my sister and I promised there would be no secrets between us." I shivered under those eyes as cold as midnight. "Nothing? Even the hidden lover's kiss? Every Earth Pony's ritual under the full moon? Luna saw them all, which means Celestia knew them." It was more than a little scary. "Luna, remember what we talked about," Celestia said as only a big sister could. "Sorry," she said, all apologetic like, but I couldn't tell if it was me or Celestia. I didn't know why Luna went off like that. Did she know something about Apple Bloom I didn't? Not taking chances. "Apple Bloom? What does she mean?" "She'll tell you when she's ready," Princess Luna said simply. "There are some pains when forced out to do more harm than good, and your sister is here to help you." "Help me?" I knew Celestia said that already, but I was kind of distracted at the time by the floors revealing a secret passage. "Help big sister?" Apple Bloom echoed. I said, "Look, I think we're as private like as you can get in the question. So what this here all about already?" I knew I was speaking to the princess, and I was kind of getting my wits' end. Celestia spoke in a calm, controlled voice. Pinkie Pie was lied to Applejack. Fluttershy was forced. Discord used you and the others who attacked Twilight from all sides. Rainbow Dash was trapped by an impossible choice, and Rarity was attacked from within by her own inner demon. You, however, were crushed by the full weight of your element. The other side of your element, the truth can and does hurt. But even then, it was a manufactured truth. You broke up in part because of what you saw. However, there is not always a scapegoat. I suddenly didn't care if I was talking to Princess or not. Hey! You say I'm weaker than the others? No! No, Applejack, you just did. I startled. Hey, my big sister's as strong as there is! Ain't nothing weak about her! Applejack reached right in front of me. And it's because that's what you believe in the deepest of your heart, Applebloom, that you are here. Wait, I said. Is this a trial or something and Applebloom's not a defense? Celestia startled. For the first time in millennia. What? No, it isn't. Who gave you that idea? You are not on trial or being punished or being suspected of anything, Applejack. You are here to learn. Learn what? You say you understand truth is harsh, but until you see the full truth of that statement, as opposed to a vision jury rigged to bring itself about, you and your element are keeping each other from reaching your full potential. Everything here is to help you, Applejack, not test or punish you. However, to see truth is painful, verily. I will not ask you, regardless of your choice, to give up the element's honesty. There will be no dishonor, no cowardice, or loss of your friendship with the others who refuse. So, Abigail Jacqueline the fifth line, I ask you once, will you look into the truth? Yes, I ask you a second time of your own freedom of will. Will you look into truth? I said yes, didn't I? Do you? Yes! I ask you a third time. Looking at truth will bring you pain and no dishonor if you refuse. Do you still wish to look into truth? Yes, dang it, 1,000,000 times, yes! Apple looked at me, looking a little scared. Very well, Applebloom. The filly started. This was the first time the princess had spoken to her directly. Stay at your sister's side, no matter what, and believe in her. That's all you need to do. Applebloom tilted her head. Huh? How's that? More important than you can imagine. You're here to help give her the inner strength she's going to need. I said, I thought it was about seeing me this truth thing on my own. Most ponies more often than do not face life's challenges alone except by their own choices. Besides, no pony faces truth in a vacuum, and it wouldn't be fair for you to be the exception. Alright, so how do we do this? Stand on the balcony and look directly down. It doesn't last a moment more than you can endure. There is a lever to your right. Push or pull it, and the shutter will close at once. You will not be judged on how long you look. What balcony are you? Huh? Where did that come from? Applebloom, was that here a minute ago? I ain't sure. I swear, clear Celestia chuckled. I did as I was told and looked down. Applebloom right next to me. The Alicorn sisters touched the surface of the horn on opposite ends of the edge of my vision. Applejack looked down into the pool and then looked back at her. First, all she saw was her own reflection and the room's dark ceiling. Then she saw his sister, then the Alicorns, then the stairs, then Canterlot and Ponyville, then Equestria, all at once. Then things changed. And Applejack didn't just see images. She listened to voices. She heard thoughts. She felt emotions. She was with everyone. The blue and pink twins Aloe and Lotus hugged themselves in separate blankets, back to back, feeling ashamed of the revulsion and involuntarily shudders at each other's even indirect touch, having spent more of Discord's reign as a two-headed pony with no rear end connected at the waist. The two had stood along each side of each other along their entire lives, and were proud of that. And now, just being near each other felt painful. It wasn't fair. Their entire lives snapped like parts of a whole, and gave each other strength. Now that same idea made them sick. Aloe's eyes misted over, and Lotus wanted so badly to hug her sister, but the images of being a two-headed pony trying to go in two different directions flashed through her mind, making her muscles freeze. It had taken this long so they could just make eye contact again. A little blue earth pony named Archer was curled up in her bed, hugging the sheets for dear life like a cocoon. Her namesake lay at the far end of her room, where she was thrown in after discord was resealed. The memories won't stop repeating. She grew wings like a pix's and happily flew about, and with unlimited supply of arrows happily shot in the flanks, legs, and throat of any pony that caught her eye, laughing playfully the whole time. Archer hadn't been able to even look at the bow and arrow set that she had gotten for a Cuisinera. Her parents, including her mother, who she had shot 5 times, kept telling her she wasn't a bad pony, that she didn't do those things because she wanted to or could help herself. But the memories keep repeating every time she closed her eyes. A pony with an hourglass cutie mark has locked himself in a little blue shed and not come out since the incident in spite of protests of his friends. He remembered Dr. Who leapt about wearing royal robes, a skirt, and a crown with a scepter hanging from the saddle. Lo and behold, I am the Queen of England, the Time Lord victorious. I shall feed me pears on. He grabbed the scepter and brought it down with a cracking noise on the random adult pony in fancy clothes with a feather in her hair, who was playing in the mud like she was 3. Exterminate! The little filly Twist hadn't eaten a piece of candy in a week. She could bear the sight of one, even the one she made herself. Spiral. Spiral. Spiral! All she saw was her legs and nests twisting like taffy and twisting around everything like snakes. Spiral! The word echoed in her head like a mantra. Apple Bloom looked in the mirror for a 10th time that day. No, her hide was yellow, not black, and her eyes were glowing. She was one of them. Maybe one more check. Sweetie Belle threw out her doll collection, the one she had painstakingly put together over the years and organized. She couldn't bear the looks on their faces when she looked at them. All she could think of was that empty dance she did as one of them with another poor filly turned into a filly-sized doll. Diamond Tiara smashed the glass dolls in the room, each one worth more than Applejack made in a good month. It's not fair! It's not fair! Mama was free and I couldn't even hug her! It's not fair! She actually threw a couple at a few brave servants that dared see what the trouble was, beating the couple on the head. Diamond Tiara turned into a pony-sized dress-up doll and wandered about, then danced with the living dress-up doll pony Sweetie Belle. The two danced for a bit like ballet. Then they took off their heads and legs and tails and began exchanging body parts. Golden Tiara, better known to everyone else as Screwball, floated above the kiosk, laughing at the antics that made perfect sense to her. The unicorn Lila and the earth pony Bonbon kept coming up with excuses not to come within 100 hoof falls of each other. Normally finding the two apart was impossible. Lyra remembered worse than Bonbon. Lyra remembered her own voice sounding like an out-of-tune harp, and gleefully and eagerly stomping her hoof down on her best friend, who was now filled with creamy filling. Again, and again, and again, the grin never leaving the corrupted Lila's face. She had barely stopped herself and hanging herself with her own harp strings after the world was sane again. Silver Spoon has locked herself in her room and has refused to come out. It was there. Her father laughing while trying to behead his daughter with their ancestral weapon. Silver Spoon running like mad, her eyes now on her glasses, and her hide is now very soft silver. Folks who finished tripped over the triple layer dress she was wearing again, thankfully not in front of her entourage this time. The footage from the security camera of her own home had gone into the hands of the tabloids somehow, showing her running around naked, eating her own dresses. Blue Blood screamed in terror at the sight of the sun again. The royal guards restrained him to take him back inside. A few weeks ago he had been turned into a mare, made of living ice, running for her life from a stallion made of solar flames who wanted to coddle and caress and ravish her. Philomena wouldn't go into her cage, even when Celestia outright ordered her to, instead roosting at the tallest parts of the castle. She had burst into flames every time Discord changed her, only to return to her true form. After the second dozenth time, Discord got bored and tossed her ashes into a jar. A small one, left in one tiny air hole, and tossed it into the deepest of the royal fountains. A catonic great out-blue unicorn with a wan kitty mark wandered about in a broken daze as the ponies around her went mad, not even noticing them or herself. Octavia wore her soundproof earmuffs, having been barely stopped by her fellow band members from ripping their ears off while the world was repaired. She was insisting on writing her messages and requests rather than speaking. She remembered Octavia rolling on the floor, holding her head, screaming as even the sound of dust falling was amplified in noise level in front seat to a heavy metal rock band, which was nothing compared to the mad cackling and wild screams of agonies of others around her. As a horrid noise wouldn't end, first she wished she hadn't been in Canterlot that day, then wished she never left the rock farm, then wished she had gone to the rock for a cutie mark, and finally wishing she had never been born if it would just make the horrid sound stop. At least now she had finally stopped screaming the noise of the dinner bell. Didgeridoo held her child close, almost like a plush toy in intensity, but at the same time treating her like Dinky was as fragile as glass, sleeping with her each night, not letting her out of her sight for a minute. She kept saying, "Mama loves you. Mama's sorry. Mama won't hurt you. Mama didn't mean it. Mama loves you. Mama's sorry." The memory wouldn't go away. She had told her own baby, with straight eyes, perfect grammar, diction, and a sickening grin, that even if Dinky now had Pegasus wings and no horn, she would never be her child. That Dinky has been adopted, and how Ditsy never loved her, and how she wished Dinky would have suddenly died before she ever adopted her. She had said Dinky would never be a real child, with how worthless and invaluable she was. At least both Dinky and Ditsy had stopped sobbing themselves to sleep each night. Mare had done more work in a few weeks than she had in a few months. She wasn't a slacker at her job in any way before, but now she was practically acting like a super pony, and the sleepless nights and skipped meals were begging to show. "I do care about all of you, I promise," she muttered under her breath when she thought no pony was listening, blocking out the memory of a pony now made of living rock shouting with a megaphone that she had wasted most of her life in this town, and she could have been an administrator in Canterlot by now if she hadn't settled for this job and did absolutely nothing, as ponies 3 inches from her were bleeding from arrow wounds. The orange and carrot top's mane began to show gray roots again. She didn't try to diet again this time. Instead, she did her farming for the day with a big smile on her face and a friendly air about, and went straight to her bedroom and locked the door and began hugging herself, reliving memories of a grayed out carrot top, running about, swinging and hitting with a battle axe in her mouth, taking out the axe only long enough to occasionally scream how she hated the color green before attacking another pony who happened to have any green to her eyes, mane, coat, or attire. Snips and Sails was strangely quiet, very quiet, and hadn't caused trouble since Discord fall. In fact, they hadn't done much of anything. They acted like they were scared of everything almost, or at least intimidated by it. Once with the brains of dogs after being tainted by Discord, they had fled for their lives, being attacked by a strangely fast giant snail and a pair of flowing giant scissors trying to cut them in two. Looking at their cutie marks now has to be done in short glances, and AJ knew that this was only a tiny portion of every pony in Ponyville. If emotions were images and thoughts could be seen, they would show a giant glow filled with everything Applejack is seen bearing down on her shoulders, making her legs buckle, and the weight ever so slowly caused her bones to crack. And a little yellow filly with a bow pushing up against her sister's belly, bearing some of the burden. A distant part of Applejack reached for the lever, and another part of her spread her other hoof hard just below the lever, and the hoof pushing at the lever did so, and did so again, and did so again. No more. Not afraid. Not afraid. Show me more. Show me all of it. I'm not scared. Show me all of it. Applejack saw the grayed out Rainbow Dash. At Cloudsdale? Discord appearing beside her, telling everyone that she had saved Cloudsdale by sacrificing all of Equestria. The majority of Pegasi presented wanting to clip her wings in response. Right before Discord turned them all mad as a last gift to Rainbow Dash before teleporting away, and this Dash's soul being crushed by pure overwhelming guilt and self-loathing. Pretend to be delusional. Pretend you never made it to Cloudsdale, never had to face the guilt. She saw Applebloom, scared out of her wits, galloping like mad in the everfree forest. Undead skeletal remains of ponies rising out of the ground after her, telling her to stay in Sunny Town, that if she stayed, she wouldn't become like Ruby. Then the image shuddered. At once, Applebloom was following Twilight out of Everfree. In the other, a new resident of Sunny Town enjoyed a party. Barely 2 days later, Applejack was ripping the Everfree forest apart, bucking trees out of the ground one after another. Snarling and swearing to her fate self, she'd uproot the entire forest with her little sister. Her friends helped at first, before restraining her to keep her from working herself to death. She escaped and got back to work. Sakura finally came and told Applejack what little she knew, and Applejack found her delusional and now cursed little sister, and proceeded to tear Sunny Town to its foundations and bucking the head off of any zombie pony that got in her way. Now Applejack saw Twilight, Sparkle, and Trixie on a stone platform surrounded by turning black storm clouds supported only by a long straight staircase. Trixie was wearing a silver necklace chest plate with 6 black gems. Applejack noticed this Trixie, however, had a purple and white star cutie mark. Exactly the same save for the colors of Twilight's white and purple cutie mark. On the stars, Twilight screamed, "Sis! Stop this!" On the platform, Trixie snarled, "We're not sisters! Celestia may have raised us together, but she only ever considered you worthy of anything." "That's a lie, Trixie! Who's been filling your head with this nonsense?" Then the image shuffled. Now it was Trixie on the stairs, begging her foster sister Twilight to stop this insanity and come home to their adopted mother Celestia. Applejack saw a gray tinted Twilight Sparkle, whose color suddenly returned with no little explanation, and began to trot out of her bedroom before knocking over a vase. And remembered that she replaced the vase once before, but not sure how it had been broken. Another image of the same Twilight, this time writing something down and hiding it just before Master Discord retracted the memory revitalization spell he himself cast on her to amuse himself when Twilight, remembering how things had once been, for a few minutes again. Now the same Twilight, still grayish, but now with memories of herself from before, talking to a filly named Apple Pie, who was apparently the descendant of Apple Bloom and one of Octavia Pie's colts, after they had fled what Ponyville had become. Apple Pie smiled at Twilight tragedy and said, "Hey, even in the darkest of times, you have to find something to laugh about." The scenes shifted again, this time much closer to the present, but marching forward. Winona, as an old dog, Applebloom needed to drag upstairs in her mouth. Then the apples gathered around the small unmarked grave of the ancient loyal dog. AJ noticed this Applebloom now had her cutie mark, but the scene shifted before she could focus. This time the apples were all in black, and Applebloom no longer a little filly, minus Queen Smith, whose tombstone they all surrounded, and wept. In the blink of the night, Applebloom, now with streaks of gray in her mane, were surrounded by her fully grown male children, her husband a bit behind her. She visited the graves of her brother and sister on the anniversary of their deaths. Then, her sons, as entering their twilight years themselves, along with their children and grandchildren, mourning Granny Bloom's death. The image shifted once more. A much larger Spike, now carrying a wrinkled rarity, wearing a face veil like she was royalty, and he with her elephant, and showing absolutely not the least resentment, if anything, a sense of honor. An even larger Spike cradling the elderly and weathered remains of rarity in his claws, almost like she was a broken doll. The mighty beast openly weeping. A graying adult mare version of Sweetie Belle with a music-based cutie mark went alongside him. One of Applejack's front hooves violently pushed and pulled at a level. Her other foot hoof felt pain. Then there was the vision of herself along with her 5 friends. The sweeps of the image, one by one, were replaced with gravestones, each time the group a little bit more elderly. Twilight's graying, however, wasn't happening nearly as fast as the others were. Finally, Twilight stood before the graves of her 5 friends. 4, actually. AJ's been buried with the rest of the Apple family, and a giant purple and green dragon looming behind her with a sad look on its face. Sweet Apple Acres expanded. Granny Blue's risk-taking days actually paid off. However, 60 years after her death, Pegasi figured out how to grow produce on clouds via a new process that enabled clouds to hold soil. At first, this was seen as an oddity at best and a joke at worst, and rightfully so. These Pegasi had no clue how to farm besides what they read, and the produce was low quality. But with a more direct access to the weather system and sunlight, they managed to slowly outpace the Earth Pony farm market. Once their product quality had improved. This was due to 30 or so years later, when the first generation of 2 flutter ponies had come into being. Earth ponies had apparently severed their magical link with the land through the gift of being able to fly, and were hired on the spot by the struggling Pegasi farm industry as consultants. They were slurred as fairies or pixies by Earth ponies, who mostly considered them deserters or traitors. And with a faster Pegasi delivery system, the smaller farms began to dry up. The Pony Apple Bark saw the way things were blowing and began to invest in new market in spite of the words from his family. His grandson was the first Earth Pony in their family to convert. The rock farmers market, by contract, exploded as they grabbed up quality land where before they had given out the leftovers. Dragon flames tore through Ponyville like a hot poker through paper as Luna's Night Trooper and Celestia's Day Soldiers fought against Dragon Queen Tyrant's DeForest expansionist army. Spike and the other dragons loyal to Equestria fell under suspicion and had to fight that much harder to prove themselves. Lady Twilight's Magica Sparkle spent a year recovering from burn wounds she suffered from a blast of dragon fire that had reduced other unicorns to ashes. What remained of Ponyville was just under half its buildings, either burned out shells or dragon carcasses having crashed through the walls, and the quarter of its population dead, and the 5th maimed. A century and a decade rebuilding later, it assimilated into part of Canterlot. The capital and the small town, now more of a city, were so interconnected, and now they functioned as one anyway. In one flickering instant, Applejack saw Princess Celestia, except with wrinkles and looking old. Behind Celestia in the sky was an equally ancient and elderly red sun. The image went by so fast, Applejack wasn't sure she had actually seen it. Again, with the yellow sun in the sky, Twilight Sparkle, with a white mane and gray streaks, was chatting with a friendly yellow Earth Pony with a black mane and a black flank. "The world is so beautiful," said the Earth Pony in an awe-inspired but strangely sad voice. The 2 nuzzled. The image shifted again. This was a tall white tower. The sky showed a starry sky devoid of its moon. Styx stood before a massive black alicorn. Its wings were white bones, just like its face. The cutie mark with the tarot card with a skull on it. It had familiar black mane. It boomed. "The moment ponies devoured the fruit of magic, they sealed their fate, entrusting their futures to the elements they clinged to a dim hope. Yet it is through harmony that is always revealed. Beyond the beaten paths lie the absolute end. It matters not who we are. Death awaits you." Opposed to it was Twilight Sparkle, her mane now completely white, but strangely not showing any other signs of aging. Alongside here was 3 other ponies, a white unicorn, a Pegasus, and an Earth Pony, who AJ didn't recognize except the Earth Pony bore some resemblance to Apple Pie, a young blue and green dragon, and Greta, each of them wearing the Illness Harmony while Twilight was wearing a familiar crown. Twilight shouted at the black alicorn, "Living means not cowering before death. It's about what you leave behind, not whether or not you will always be here. That's why you say Equestria's time to die is now. We'll fight you to the bitter end to prove you wrong." The black alicorn responded as if he had been ordered by his best friend. "Then come to me, Twilight. Your friends are waiting for you." This battle is a path of your own choosing. The images shifted again. Applejack saw herself as a blank flank. Auntie and Uncle Warren's taking her to an early morning show. Then she saw herself as an adult mare, but with a shorter mane. No sign of her precious hat. Wearing a dress with 3 orange gems as her cutie mark. She saw herself acting and speaking like Rarity, but more calm about herself, more open. She saw herself protecting her older aunt and uncle from rising ponies during the Nightmare Moon night. She was invited to meet 6 ponies who apparently saved the world from Nightmare Moon and were now on a Equestria-wide tour. Being one of the more successful business mares in Manhattan, of course she intended. Then she found out there had a more direct and real reason for her to invite during the day. Big Mac, mother dearest! The two hugged at once. Orange Jack kept asking why her brother hadn't told her he helped save the world. He admitted he was embarrassed being only stallion in the group of mare heroes. You should visit more often. I always have a place for you. You could visit the farm, you know. Everyone would like to meet the big sister who keeps sending her them expensive dolls. Brother dearest, we've been over this many a time. I have a lot of business to run. I cannot just abandon my responsibilities just for feeling nostalgic. I'm not talking about going back, just a visit. I promise Granny Smith won't try to guilt trip you at this time. I shall consider it sincerely, brother dearest. Then the image shuffled again, showing 2 scenes at once. One showed Applejack meeting a polite but down-to-earth Earth pony in Ponyville. She couldn't see his face. Dang it! But they hit it off on the dance floor at Pinkie Pie's town-wide party and with each other. He has been a drifter, just passing through town. Nothing special, but he found something special in her. Said it was nice to meet a mare who didn't play mind games with him. And 2 years later, with her husband, she lived a newborn yellow male foal with a matching mane. The broad mother whispered the foal's name, but Applejack didn't hear it no matter how hard she tried. The other showed Orange Jack meeting the flying on the edge of your 6 unicorn stallion, whose sense of adventure caught Orange Jack's eyes at that year's Grand Galloping Gala. The repair work since the disaster year before it had been a miracle. For the next year, she kept making excuses to visit him. A year she got tired of waiting and asked him to marry her. And then again, the image of a proud mother. This time, the red unicorn with the green mane. When the nurse asked her what her name was, all Applejack managed to hear was that her name begins with flight. No, Applejack whispered. It ain't fair. It ain't fair! Applejack stared at the pools. Her eyes were like billiard balls. Her pupils were huge. Tears were streaming down her face. Not fair! Ain't fair! Celeste shouted in alarm for a 3rd time. Applejack, that's enough! Just stop! AJ didn't respond. Luna shouted, Tia! Who's? Luna always just catch details better than her. Then again, she was the artist of the family. Celestia's eyes widened. One of AJ's hooves was indeed on a lever and trying to pull it. Another one was stuck in the gears to prevent the mechanism from closing. There's no way this was an accident, Celestia thought. Apple Bloom! Luna shouted. Pull your sister's hooves out of the gears right now! Apple Bloom didn't need to be told twice. Seeing her sister in this state had prevented her little mind from pulling the mechanic together. But everything fell into place in nanoseconds as she pulled the bleeding hoof free. Instantly, the shutter closed. Applejack fell to her knees at once, her eyes so large and tears straining her face like rivers. You stupid pony! Luna cursed in dismay. You didn't need to prove anything. Not now, Luna! Celestia shouted back. Why do Applejacks have to be such stubborn pigheads? But their link to the truth broken. Not wanting to risk forcing the vision to end. The eloquence of AJ's sight in the blink of an eye, repairing the damage to her foreleg and helping her up. Why? Celestia said for the first time in so long upset with her on her ponies. Her voice boomed echoing in the chamber. It made Appleboom cower and wanted to beg for forgiveness, even though she had done nothing wrong. Even Luna shuddered. AJ spoke in tired breaths like she'd done some running relays in 60 seconds. I said I wouldn't be scared of the truth, so I wasn't gonna let myself turn chicken the way it's seeing it all. Celestia let out a precious, smallest laugh, blinked tears, and wrapped her neck and reins around the orange fur pony. Oh, Applejack, you silly pony. Big sister, you did that? On purpose? Had to show them truth fail. They weren't scared of none of them, AJ said, finally being able to close her eyes a little and stop crying. Applejack pressed herself against her sister's side. Luna thought her reminded herself and Tia. Celestia, so all that weird stuff, that was truth too? Those were truths been explored down different paths. Some of it was your future, some of it was the future of other versions of you. Applejack asked, totally confused. Other versions? Huh? What y'all talking about? One moment, Luna said, and tapped her horn on Applejack's forehead. I promise you'll remember every detail today when you wake up. But for now, have sweet dreams. Dream of Ruby and playing with her. Dream away your monsters. And know you have nothing to fear because your family is there for you. Applejack fell asleep, still on her hooves. What was that for? Applejack asked. Luna shook her head, a bit dizzy. That trick always took power out of her. You have confessions and questions you don't want your sister to carry, right? She's endured already more than a filly your age should have to. I know. Now, so, my son, my daughter, they're both real? But that ain't fair. That things are not fair is why the truth brings pain, Applejack. I didn't know what you'd see, but everything sees past they never explored and dismissed, Celestia answered. But I felt it. I love them both. And I always told myself that I'd be miserable there, or I'd become one of them selfish, arrogant snobs. I told myself if I somehow got happy there, it'd just make another miserable. I didn't think I could make something as wonderful as that there too. Neither of them deserves simply not exist. Both will live in their particular path when you made your choice, and in turn made their own choices, and both down their road will make you proud. Applejack felt the pain inside her lessen. Thanks. I think I finally understand. I know every pony was suffering, but I was just thinking blanketed them all together, like they were having the same problem. I guess maybe it wasn't all that real. Not really real to me. I'm gonna take a nap now. Oh, such a silly pony. Luna sighed. I know, Lulu, I know, but she's wonderful for it. The two apples were taken back upstairs and put in one of the royal guest rooms. They returned home later that night. Apple seemed calmer when she woke up, more control of herself, but she was still smiling, looking at everyone with wonder and joy. AJ didn't see any farm work done the next day. She had a lot of work to do. First she played with Winona, telling her what a great dog she was. Then she was sure to tell Granny Smith that she always been a wonderful dancer to AJ. She also told Big Macintosh that she knew that given the chance, he was as much a hero as she and the others were. She also had Apple Bloom tell her all about her adventures in Evergreen Forest, and hugged her and told her that she was safe, and that she was a very, very brave pony. She could have let those monsters take her, but she didn't. She wrote a letter to Ian and Uncle Orange, telling them under no uncertain terms she would always love them. She also visited Rainbow Dash via Twilight Sparkle's balloon, and thanked the stars above that Twilight's crowd walk and spell and long lasting. Rainbow Dash, of course, was very surprised to see her. After proper greetings and everything AJ told her, Dashy, I know when having a Cloudsdale. The real Cloudsdale. Dashy's face twisted in fear before she could anything AJ finished. I forgive you. This girl would have made whatever choice you made worse. And I know the others will forgive you too. Rainbow Dash's hug was very unexpected. Applejack did a lot of walking around Ponyville that day, and that evening too. Also having to look up a few addresses while she was at it. At least everyone knew that AJ was one of the 6 ponies to save the world. Twice. But most didn't know that. You two being together to steal your strength. You let yourself be broken apart because of this, you're letting Discord have the last laugh, she told Aloe Notice. Discord is the one who does ponies, not you. Would you ever do a thing like that? No. Then it wasn't you. You have a special talent the same as any pony. Use it to protect ponies. Prove Discord wrong. That's what your talent means, she said to Archer. Look, I don't know a lot about you or what your story is, but whatever you did, know that Discord affected the rest of us too. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. It could have easily been someone else or Discord twisted about. I know it's hard to hear, but you're the same as the rest of us that way. And that means we all accept you as one of us. Dr. Who finally came out of his blue shed 15 minutes after AJ left. You're a twist, right? My little sister's friend of yours, right? Look, I know she doesn't hang with you as much as now she formed a club and you got your mark, but she's there for you like your parents. And I know just that. Does that because you're not blank anymore doesn't mean she isn't there for you. Show them blanks is not about just getting your cutie mark, but what you do after. And not getting it doesn't make you more or less someone's friend. Look at your sister Sweetie Belle at the Discord. She acted like she was walking on nails around her own jewels, but she fought it and beat it. And if she can, then you can too. Those dolls are yours. You're not theirs. I just want to speak to your daughter. I'm not telling nothing. Oh, come on, please. Hey, I happen to be friends with Celestia, so you know, and hey! I'm down your letter. Ugh! AJ sighed and walked away from the Tiara household. You know that Lyra wouldn't have ever done it with real Lyra, and you know that you never do that to Bonbon if it was really you. Yes, I know what you say about hypnosis, but it was no hypnosis. Take it for someone who knows what you went through. That wasn't you. You know you never do anything to hurt her. Don't prove that scumbag right by letting your friendship go because of him. Hello? Huh? No, I'm no kidnapper. I just had a bit of a bad experience trying to talk some ponies in big houses. Just because your glasses help you see doesn't mean they are your eyes. And your name is your name. It doesn't make you you. Cheerily is a teacher, and it doesn't have to do with her name or how her teamwork looks. You can still be however you want to be. And you ask yourself too, would your daddy really try to hurt you? If you don't know what your pal well enough to know, maybe it's time you got to know him, she told Silver Spoon on the way back home from school. Look, lady, I know we ain't friends or anything a lot, but you know that things like what those rags are saying are part of your business you're in. I know them dresses mean a lot to you. You're laying up for a confidence, and doing something because of what them rags say only encourages them. I'll be going now. AJ walks away from the front gate, having had the entire conversation with Phil finished through the intercom. AJ wrote 3 more letters. One was to that sassy dolt, Blueblood. Told him if he really loves his auntie better, that he wouldn't fear her embodiment, and he should take the whole thing as a learning experience, and consider maybe, just maybe, he's the one that needs to change, and not the girls he dates who want needing the peace. The second was to Philomena. She didn't know the bird could read, or the paper she picked out was fireproof enough. But she wrote Philomena should take pride in thwarting one tiny piece of Discord's game, and for distracting Discord long enough, likely for some ponies to be left unharmed by him. AJ knew it was weak, but she also knew she can help every pony, everyone equally, no matter how much she wanted to. The last letter was to Octavia Pye. AJ wrote, in the best Manhattan style and speaking she could, that if Octavia really loved music, then she shouldn't let what Discord did to her make her abandon it. Her music makes a lot of ponies happy, and she should remember how it made her happy. You two are the picture of a mama and her young. I've never seen a mom and her filly as closely bonded as you two. And I can tell you right now, that ain't an exaggeration on my part. You two are wonderful for each other, and I know what you two share is stronger than anything Discord could have done to you. Those are their words to Ditsy-Doo and Dinky-Doo. Mirror, mirror, We all know you care about us. Carrot Top, I know you've always been scared of other ponies' opinions, but anyone who blames you for what Discord made you do is a donkey. Pardon to Miss Matilda. You're not a thug, you're not a bully, you're a farmer same as me, so I know you don't have anything to be ashamed of. Hey, you two, your kmarks are always something to be proud of. They're a mark of what makes you, you. They're not something to be afraid of simply because something that looks like them tried to hurt you. It wasn't them, so raise your heads high, she told Snips and Snails when she finally found them in Luna's moonrising. Applejack knew the truth. It wouldn't be easy, as a couple of kind words would told a stranger. No matter how much sense they made, to turn things around. Many would ignore her words, or perhaps only take partially to heart. Others may have closed themselves in deeper because of what she'd said, but AJ had no regrets. At least it would start them down the right path, if they were already on it, helping them along the way to heal the claw marks Discord has left on them. And finally, hey AJ, I heard from Pinkie Pie you're really making hoof tracks around town. Sure have, Twa. Don't worry, this is just a day. It ain't going to be Applebuck Season Part 2. In fact, this is kind of why I'm here. Well, not directly, but it's a big part of the reason. Oh really? What is it? There's a unicorn party in Hoofington that really needs your brand of help. The end. Ooh-wee! What a long chapter that was! Oh yeah. Wow. Wow, it's not long. So, oh wow. I hope I didn't bore you guys to death. And I hope you enjoyed the ride though. So, hi here! Oh, Pinkie Pie, what are you doing? Oh, my story is next! Yeah, thanks, Pinkie Pie. And stay tuned! And you like this here video, please click the like button on that there bottom and subscribe to Agent Fluffy's channel for more content. And don't forget to share. This has been Agent Fluffy and AJ
and Pinkie.
And we'll see you guys in Pinkie's story of Reharmonized Ponies.
Bye! I'll see you there.
It made Applejack cower and wanted to beg for big forgiveness, even though she had done nothing wrong. Even Luna shuddered. AJ spoke in tired breaths like she does